Hello there. Welcome to the stream. Jesus, that's a flashbang. Yeah, I figured I'd do a little bit of a fun stream that is discussing the sort of conversation that is going on around Dan James at the moment, him rejigging his contract, getting a new one, which is all quite nice. And just there's a little bit of a sort of general chat about what it may have revealed. I'm going to have to switch that direction just so that's a little bit more correct. If you're new to the channel, I'd hugely appreciate you subscribing. Every subscriber that I've got by the charity match that I'm organising on the 20th of July will be another 1p for Prostate Cancer UK. Sorry, I've been doing a lot of numbers things in my head this morning, which is absolutely chaos. And yeah, the entire sort of situation is a kind of fun one around Dan James. Also, you can get your tickets down below. If you're on a TV, you've got no excuse anymore because I've done a QR code right here. Fan dabby dozy. Anyway, hopping into it. Dan James has extended his contract at Leeds United, and it's a fairly healthy, significantly long one. So it's a 4-year deal. We don't have specific numbers around what the sort of contract wages are. We don't have anything specific around if there's any clauses and stuff, but I will be speculative, because of course I'm going to be speculative, because I'm a YouTuber, and that's all we've got a lot of the time. So, if I just make a bunch of various things piss off, because I need a single clean tab that only has the thing that I want to show on it. Yeah, my immediate assumption is that there will not be any exit clauses, or at least none that will actively damage the club like we saw last time. My assumption is we won't see any wages that are severe to the extent that previous wages were absolutely insane. So specifically looking at the situation around Jack Harrison and the fact that we ended up paying him something like £90,000 a week, that would be stupidity. Let's not do that again. Let's never do that again, and I don't think we will be doing that again. Yeah, I'm fairly happy about this. We all saw that there was going to be an extension coming to his deal. We all saw that it was going to lead to a little bit more time at Leeds United. He's a very, very quick boy. He's a very, very talented boy. And he's a guy that we kind of need at the club, because those are the players that will make the difference for you in a season in which you're aiming to stay in the Premier League. So the specific worry around him for a lot of people is he going to be able to do it when he's the age of 31, which he will be at the end of this contract? One, he's not guaranteed to stay here to the end of his contract. Two, he's not pure pace anymore. A lot of people have this sort of perception of him as this pace merchant that has nothing else to his game. That's bollocks. That doesn't happen. He's someone who is increasingly getting good at putting crosses perfectly on a plate for someone, who's getting really, really good at just sort of taking on a man without relying on using that speed, which is an especially good thing. I think the entire situation, although, as Hannah has noted, it's a bit of dead cat news, it's a little bit of, I need something to stream today, that I wasn't entirely sure what I was going to be streaming earlier on. It's one that I think is worthy of a little bit of discussion, and a little bit of, you know what, we've done the sensible thing here. And as much as a lot of people shout, why aren't we doing X, Y, or Z move, I think sometimes you just need to get the sensible stuff out of the way. When it comes to the sensible stuff, I'm just going to duplicate this tab just so I can find what I'm looking for. There we go. Right. So if I hop over to this particular image, and we'll have a look at it, and we'll think this is just a sort of fairly standard kit reveal image. It's fine. He's stood there, just looking a little bit sort of like, he's a very stern boy. It's the sort of picture that I might end up taking of various people before the charity match to do promo stuff. Dan James isn't the interesting part of this image. The interesting part of this image to me is, as Dr. Cox has said, the tracksuit. Because it's not just a case of how is the tracksuit looking. It's a case of beyond the tracksuit. What's going on with it? What's going on with that, and what is going on with the kit? Because earlier on, in the very same day, there was a lovely little kit leak that was taken from I believe it was a shop in Ireland that this was taken. And for me, this is ultimately telling that it is going to be what the kit looks like. Because as much as Amir here says it's pretty dull, Amir is an idiot because he's a Liverpool fan. I'll open that in a new tab actually. So if you compare and contrast a few of the little details from this, you've got yellow, white, yellow on the shoulders. And if not Windows, oh damn it, sorry, it's been a day. And if we check this one, yellow, white, yellow, nice and blue. Admittedly, we've not got the trifoil on it, but that's fine. This is the kit. Let's be honest. It just is the away kit. The fact of the matter is that tracksuit confirms it because it looks borderline identical. And I think when it comes to shirts this season, as much as many, not even this season, over the last extended period of time, while so many people have sort of been screaming into the abyss, being like, Leeds kits aren't good enough, we're stuck with Adidas, Adidas are rubbish, ugh. That's not the truth. The truth of the matter is, they come out with some relative bangers. We gotta remember, this boy, everyone's favourite for a long, long time, is an Adidas shirt. This boy right here is an Adidas shirt, and yes, they're based on things in the club's past, but the best designers and manufacturers are always going to be in a position where they are taking from history. No one builds a skyscraper without any foundations, and that foundation is the past of the club, and that's going to happen time and time again. Yeah, for me, if this is the new away kit, which I very much hope it is, it's going to be my new favourite kit. I'm going to be 1 second actually, because I want to check something. One moment. And this is important. Isn't it interesting how multiple designers can have the same idea at approximately the same time? Huh. Huh. The Peacocks kit for the Leeds Creator Cup is effectively one of these. So, I mean, if they've not released the away kit by this weekend, at least I can say that technically I've given one of every single away kit to the Peacock side. Is this the away kit or the third strip? This will be the away kit, is my guess. The third strip is widely being discussed as that little black number, which is quite nice. It's mainly a blackout kit, but it's got yellow trim, I believe. It's going to be my favourite kit if true. I believe it is true. There's nothing sort of disagreeing with it. I've spoken to some folks that are very much aware of these things, and have said that it's spot on with every single description that they've heard. Having also spoken to people that are aware of these things, there is further discussion around the fact that it is basically absolutely very likely that next season's kit is going to be a yellow one that is potentially as popular or more popular than this one, which is really nice. I really like the sound of that. But yeah, that's the sort of general gist. I'll admit this one was not planned to be the longest of streams. It was planned to be a fairly short one, because I do have another stream coming later. Do I design that thumbnail on stream? I'm kind of tempted because I quite like when I do that. But in addition to that, I have been making piles and piles and piles of lanyards for the Creator Cup, because everyone that is playing in or working on the Creator Cup will need a lanyard for various security reasons. So that's fun. I'm working my way through all of those. And yeah, it's all good. I think we're fine. A lot of people may still be complaining about the lack of transfer stuff, but I will be completely honest with you. I'm okay. There will be a lot of head loss in the coming days, in the coming weeks, in the coming months. But people that... How do I phrase this? do. Outrage has a limited value, in my opinion. So if you are the kind of person that gets absolutely furious, that gets livid, is deeply unhappy with everything, every single time something doesn't go the way of Leeds United, or we don't complete a move within a certain week, or X, Y, or Z, or whatever. If every time that happens, if for every week that we've not signed someone, you get really, really grumpy, you sort of lose the value of that outrage later. You lose the ability to be happy about the things that go well, because you are looking for the things that have not gone well. The entire thing is a big old cycle. And I think you ultimately end up in a not very good spot, to be honest with you. So that's why, and again, I am specifically looking in the direction of some people that recently said that I am effectively a propaganda outlet for the club at one point, which was absolutely hilarious. I wish, in that case, the club would be paying me to talk positively about the club, which I like to do anyway. But that's just sort of addressing that. I don't know. I lost that part way through, didn't I? Anyway, I'm going to get this thumbnail knocked up, but it's going to be a sort of general chatty stream, to be honest with you, because I've got a lot of things to do. And I can do a couple of them on stream, and I quite like doing that, which is always quite nice. I think if we didn't loan down James to Fulham, we would have stayed up. It was a bizarre decision. It was a bizarre decision, and I think he did great for us in his first season. I think he kind of did. I think the concern we had with Dan James, for a significant proportion of it, was he wasn't especially fantastic at being a number 9. And it's like, of course he wasn't particularly fantastic at being a number 9. This is because he's not a number 9. And yet everyone was still sort of like, yeah, but we need Rid. We don't need Rid. He's okay. He's fine. He's good. I promise you, he's good at football. That one will do. Sorry, 1 second. Bosh. Cool. People don't like silence, but it feels like shouting into a void right now. Yeah, that's it for me, because shouting into a void has its values. So, for example, it can make you feel a lot better. Because if you've shouted into the void and the void hasn't shouted back, you're like, well, at least I've got the emotions out, and that's what counts. But if you've not enjoyed the positives, it feels a bit weird to be like grumpy. The Barham and James, I think, got 6 new signings, job of 6 total complete. I mean, no, not quite. Marsh Penis Ball didn't have room for him. Rafa on long throws. That was yeah, because that season, that pissing season, you've got Harrison, who was at that point fairly reasonable Premier League winger. You've got Rafinha on the other flank, and you've got Rodrigo in the 9, and then Aronson in behind. Fine, that's okay. Occasionally you'll have Bamford as a 9, also fine. Beyond that, who do we have that can play on the wing? We didn't, because Penis Ball. And Penis Ball, every single time we tried it, didn't work. And it comes to mind especially because, 1 sec, we just need to search the word thumb. There we go. Is that a good enough thumbnail? I'm taking up way too much space though. Sorry. Because there was a tweet yesterday that was like, oh my god, this player is high intensity and he's really good at pressing all the time and he's got really high fitness. And then they tag Jesse Marsh and we're like, look, Jesse Marsh, this is basically you. So I had to do a tweet in response and be like, wasn't Jesse Marsh the guy that turned the fittest team in the Premier League into a complete mess of players that just couldn't run beyond 60 minutes? Because if so, I'm not entirely sure why we're tagging Jesse Marsh in this conversation. He doesn't fit here. I don't think he was a chancer. I think there's places in which he can do better. But this was not that place. And I think Victor Orta fundamentally didn't understand that. which sucks, but... Right, if I make that a bit bigger, swoop that over there. Bosh. Make me smaller. Nice. Make Evie smaller. Although, physically an impossibility. That'll do. Bosh. There we go. Right, I'm just going to quickly show you guys that thumbnail and see if you guys have any particular thoughts. If you do, that would be lovely. If you do not, that would be equally fine. Ta-da! I think that should do it. That should be fine. Coach them by making them watch videos rather than on the training pitch. I wonder if they have popcorn with the videos. I mean, Weston McKennie had a little bit more than popcorn. Weston McKennie had burger after burger after burger after burger. I think Bielsa was shit on so much he didn't have the confidence to do anything similar to Bielsa. I mean, that's the issue, isn't it? Yeah, if anyone has any design notes on the thumbnail, let me know and I can rejig it. Because you guys know what makes you want to click on things. I don't. I just sort of guess and vibe from it. But we'll see. That's what killed us, not just second Bielsa, but trashing everything he stood for. Yeah. Eventually you hit the point where you need a little bit of the old structure in order for the new structure to work. It's like I mentioned earlier, how you build on the foundations. If you burn the foundations, you've not got anything left to build on. Sorry if you hear any background noises, by the way. I'm still doing lanyards. Because there's 60 of these, which is a little bit ridiculous. And there will be more. I just didn't order more than 60 because I was like, we won't need more than 60 people working on this event. Including players, yes you do. I'm also going to see if there's any other bits of Leeds United news hovering around. That was an interesting one as well. The Real Madrid striker that played in the... You guys don't have any notes on the design either, so I'm just going to roll with it. You guys seem to have a finish to this sentence that I can't think of. Where's my brain going? It says it finishes at 9:30. What finishes at 9:30? I'm just confused now. That's fun. On the email. That's just a guess. It's not an actual finish time. It's fine. As in, well, it's not even just a guess. It's a, that's not when the event is. Gates open at 11:30, which should make things a little bit easier. 49ers recruitment team getting a lot of stick in the Instagram comments of the Dan James New Deal post. Yeah, and my firm bet is that you are one of the folk giving said stick. But at the same time, just because not everything is visible business doesn't mean it's not happening. Like, there are people actively taking joy in the fact that we've not done any moves. And it's like, why are we doing this? What's the point? Like, we can just chill. We can be calm. We can be happy. We can be good. We can be fine. We don't need to lose our heads. Dungeon was dropping his car off at Elland Road. What? Well, I'd hope so, considering he did signing pictures there. And signed the contract there. Why is that not going through the lanyard hole? There we go. Are you coming to the USA for the World Cup? It would be very expensive. It would be more than very expensive as well. It would be... because I believe there is, in the big beautiful bill that for some reason passed, there is something like a $250 tourist visa or something nuts like that, which adds to the cost. Yeah. So probably not from mainly a cost perspective, B, from a I might end up having to work bits of it perspective, which I would love to do in the US, but the US as a general country is a little bit spooky, because y'all are way too good at making horrible, horrible decisions. People like say I told you so when others have been generally positive about the 49ers. Yeah, but like, I understand that they do that, and I understand that they're like, haha, I was proven right. But you shouldn't want to be proven right. You should instead want to be in a position where... Hang on. There we go. You should instead want to be in a position where you want to be proven wrong. You want the club to do well. So the people that are looking at the fact that it's been a few days since we've signed someone and are relishing in the fact that we've not got any deals done, like super recently, is baffling to me. Because you should want the club to do well, and you don't get that by going, ha, I told you so, when a player that, on Sean's note, has been treated fairly badly by the club for an extended period of time, signs a new deal that he comfortably deserves. And we know he deserves that. Because he was one of our most creative players last season. I'd like Manor Solomon back, to be, like, on a bit of a tangent. Just getting that Solomon-James connection back would be absolutely spectacular. It's not going to happen, but that doesn't mean I don't want it. It's quite therapeutic, talking Leeds whilst I'm doing the lanyards. I hope they prove me wrong, but hopefully the negative comments will encourage them. Why would it, though? Because if they are already doing what they can at their job, if they are already trying their best, right, then you can't make someone try better than their best by slagging them off. There's no world in which they're like, yeah, I'm going to half-ass the recruitment. Because at the end of the day, their finances also depend on the club doing well. Like, the backroom staff will be paid dependent on where we are. If we get relegated, there's a potential chance that there's members of the recruitment team that will need to be sacked because we will be out of money. I've got to go through pack 2 of the lanyards now. So it's not like they're not trying, and to sort of scream into the void, but scream into the void in a way that the people you're screaming about can see it, isn't going to do anything positive. It's just going to absolutely shatter the morale. Also, you might hear some crinkly noises right now because I'm janking about with the lanyards for a moment. Sorry. It's 10 of them, though. 10 more of them. And another 10. Right, I've got those to put on my things. Which, do I do that for the rest of the stream? Do we just do a lanyard stream? I'm down for a lanyard stream, to be completely clear with you guys. I don't mind that. It's just about you guys. But I like being right, but would you not be smug if they were right about Melier or Bamford? There's a difference, though. Because if I'm being smug about Pat Bamford, it's because he scored 3 goals for the club. It's because he's done something good. Which I would see as a colossal positive. Which I would see as, cool, we've almost certainly won that game of football. Well done. On the contrary, if someone is being incredibly smug about being correct when it comes to something incredibly negative that they've been, like, hoping for, then the reality of the matter is the club has struggled as a result. Something has gone wrong. So I think the bit of me that is attached to things go right for Leeds United is diametrically opposed with the people that are hoping for something to go wrong just so they're right. That's what the difference is. During the charity match, will there be any footage of cancer people like on Soccer Aid? I don't know yet. I have reached out to Prostate Cancer UK themselves to see if they've got any TV ads that they want airing. They have not gotten back to me yet. So it will be a case of reach out to them again, hope for a response. If I don't get a response after that, then it's going to be work out something myself. Which is fine. I can always film something. It won't be as good, but it will still be, which is what counts. Can someone say the number 5 to me in a second? I say in a second. This is because I am sorting them in groups of 10. So that is lanyard number 5. And once I get to 10, I will move on to the next pile. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. There we go. What the lanyards for? They are for people that are doing work on the event. So, for example, I've got a list of the potential stewards. I've got a list of the commentary. I've got a list of all the players. I've got a list of the coaches. I've got a list of the production team. I've got a list of the YouTube moderation team, all of whom are getting a thingy. Lanyard with their name on it for security reasons. 6. If I lose track, you're going to have to shout at me. Just take a video up of me, people. Take pity. Jesus. Sean. 7. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the day now. I know that there's people that get mad that I keep shouting out the day, but honestly, sod 'em at this point. 8. If I am losing count at any point, please tell me off. And I mean seriously if I lose track, not in a jokey way like, haha, I made him lose count, because I need to keep count. Maybe smile that you did. 9. Done so well to build this up. Thank you. It's just now we are in the final stretch, which is a surprisingly high pressure stretch. 10. So that's that lot done. Get them up in a pile. And wrap the baggers up. And that goes on the pile. In its pack of 10. All I was losing is mine, which is fun. Next time it should be at Elland Road. I asked, but it's pre-season, which makes it difficult. Sean, don't do that. Please, please, please. Look at this. Look at how they shipped it. Look at this mess of lanyard. Okay, now. Pull a bunch out, that'll do. They're all tied together. Yeah, I did ask if there was anything that we could do in conjunction with the club, and I was like, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, give us Elland Road, but it wasn't going to happen. Okay, 1 of the new set. And this is the last bunch of 10, I think. That's saying don't push the button, I'm going to push the button. Yeah, but I need you to not push the button. 2. And 2 is trapped in more lanyards. 3 isn't done yet. Let's not let me lose count, that would be a problem. This stream is not going to be very good for viewer attention. I'm aware of this, but that's what the stream later is. 3. What happens if I push the button? I lose count and I get really sad. 4. What is this? There's 3 stuck together. Bloody hell. This is number 5, I think. Yeah, 5. Six. You got slimed. You do get slimed. That's the plan. 7. And the fun part is, in the next day or two, I'm getting the kits delivered, which is going to be good. 8. Your dad's dropping you off in the new Tesla. Okay. I mean, if your dad fancies sticking around to watch, then tickets are still for sale at the link below. Oh, it's tied itself in. There we go. 8. Yeah, because there's 2 left. Right. 9. And I need one of those to free itself. There we go. 10. No, wait, hold on. This is only 50 done. Oh my god. I can't believe I've got 60 lanyards. I've got about 50 coat hangers. I've got 10 high-vis vests. Bunch of medals. All for what will be roughly 15, 20, 30 minutes of football, because I managed to do my knee last night, which was great. Shout out to my body for being barely functional. Harrigo playing. Nice. I didn't know. Right, once I've done this pile of bits, then it will all be good. 2. There's 3 here, so that's fine. 3, 4, and 5. I felt something fall off my leg then. We're coming from Weatherby. Ah, lovely. And that is all good, Jammy, as long as you watch online, because you've got the option. So you might as well take it, you know. Okay, that's the first 5. There should be 5 more here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 5. Cool. Got to untie them though, which I would call a problem. A Tesla still getting attacked now as far as Donald. I don't know. I don't think that was a huge thing over here anyway. It was more of an America thing. I have to do a pre-record for my channel now. Later, just do a B. See you later, Sean. Have fun. I'm kind of curious what it's about. Does Sean have positivity in his bones? Who do you think will finish in the bottom 5? I think the bottom 5 is most likely to be the 3 promoted sides plus Bournemouth. What is it? Bournemouth? No, it was Brentford, and maybe Wolves. Is my rough estimate. Maybe Everton if they're unable to get the stuff together as well. Same for, I mean, West Ham aren't in the best of shape. But... Right, and one more. Done. Right, and that is all for now of the lanyards sorted. Which would you do this again? Do what again? The organising of the charity match? Because it depends. Because, like, I know how to do it now. That's fine. But it depends on how things go on the day. It depends on how the numbers go. It depends on how donations go. It depends on if I'd be able to get sponsors really interested. The entire thing is stressful as hell. So maybe is the answer. But I wouldn't want to give an actual, like, yes, no. Western Olive could. Yeah, that's... They'd need to do a little bit of rebuild around that. I'll donate in the coming days with a prostate cancer removal. Thank you, Jamie. I appreciate the donation, and I'm really sorry to hear that. Anyway, what I'm going to do as my final act on stream for now is I'm going to download that thumbnail for the EV stream. I'm going to get it prepped. This one I'm complaining about the 49ers when the fixture came out. The fixture review please 10th or 12th. That's right. That's a question for you. What's the specific complaint here? Because if the complaint is get things done earlier, like, there's a reason we're taking time. We don't want to end up with the wrong options, is my thinking on it, which is a good spot to be in. Yes, she is popping on later. Scan the ticket on the days it's got a barcode. You can do. In essence, it's going to be a case of we just need proof of purchase more than anything. Because anything further than that is... Oh, fuck off, Joe. I broke things. Yeah, we don't really have a barcode scanner, so it's going to be a case of sort of keeping track of things. I suppose having a poor season has done us good because it's weakened other sides. It has. I'm a big fan of the way that they're just plucking various clubs apart. It makes me very happy. Right, Evie returns. I'm talking transfers, Dan James, and the Creator Cup. That'll be the title. Let's give it a thing. I will be on at 8, I believe is the plan. I'll do. Public, scheduled for later, 8 PM. Upload thumbnail, Bosch, open, and apply. Cool, there we go. Right, anyway, I'm going to leave the stream there. So I hope you don't get any streakers. If that's a threat and you are actually secretly coming, then I will be livid. Anyway, hope you all enjoyed. If you did, pop a like on the stream. Subscribe if you haven't yet. You can become a channel member as well if you want. It's all lovely. Hope you enjoyed. I will see you later. Ta-ra. Where's the end stream button? I don't know.